Astrophobos by H.P. Lovecraft. In the midnight heavens burning, through the ethereal deeps afar, once I watched with restless yearning an alluring aureate star. Every eve, aloft returning, gleaming nigh the Arctic car. Mystic waves of beauty blended with the gorgeous golden rays, fantasies of bliss descended in a mirrored Elysian haze. In the lyre-born chords extended harmonies of Lydian lays. And, thought I, lies scenes of pleasure, where the free and blessed dwell, and each moment bears a treasure, freighted with the lotus spell, and there floats a liquid measure from the lute of Israfel. There, I told myself, were shining worlds of happiness unknown, peace and innocence entwining by the crowned virtue's throne. Men of light their thoughts refining, purer, fairer than my own. Thus I mused when o'er the vision crept a red, delirious change, hope dissolving to derision, beauty to distortion strange. Hymnic chords in weird collision, spectral sights in endless range. Crimson burned the star of madness as behind the beams I peered. All was woe that seemed but gladness, ere my gaze with truth was seared. Cacodemons mirrored with madness, through the fevered flickering leered. Now I know the fiendish fable that the golden glitter bore. Now I shun the spangled sable that I watched and loved before, but the horror, set and stable, haunts my soul forevermore. The Bride of the Sea by H.P. Lovecraft. Black loom the crags of the uplands behind me, dark are the sands of the far stretching shore, dim are the pathways and rocks that remind me sadly of years in the lost nevermore. Soft laps the ocean on wave-polished boulder, sweet is the sound and familiar to me. Here, with her head gently bent to my shoulder, walked I with Unda, the bride of the sea. Bright was the morn of my youth when I met her, sweet as the breeze that blew o'er the brine. Swift was I captured in love's strongest fetter, glad to be here, and she glad to be mine. Never a question asked I where she wandered, never a question asked she of my birth. Happy as children, we thought not nor pondered, glad of the bounty of ocean and earth. Once when the moonlight played soft mid the billows, high on the cliff o'er the waters we stood. Bound was her hair with a garland of willows, plucked by the fount in the bird-haunted wood. Strangely she gazed on the surges beneath her, charmed with the sound or entranced by the light. Then did the waves a wild aspect bequeath her, stern as the ocean and weird as the night. Coldly she left me, astonished and weeping, standing alone mid the legions she blessed. Down, ever downward, half gliding, half creeping, stole the sweet Unda in oceanward quest. Calm grew the sea, and tumultuous beating turned to a ripple as Unda the fair trod the wet sands in affectionate greeting, beckoned to me, and no longer was there. Long did I pace by the banks where she vanished, high climbed the moon and descended again. Gray broke the dawn till the sad night was banished. Still ached my soul with its infinite pain. All the wide world have I searched for my darling, scoured the far desert and sailed distant seas. Once on the wave, while the tempest was snarling, flashed a fair face that brought quiet and ease. Ever in restlessness onward I stumble, seeking and pining, scarce heeding my way. Now have I strayed where the wide waters rumble, back to the scene of the lost yesterday. Lo, the red moon from the ocean's low hazes rises in ominous grandeur to view. Strange is its face as my tortured eye gazes over the vast reaches of sparkle and blue. Straight from the moon to the shore where I'm sighing grows a bright bridge made of wavelets and beams. Frail it may be, yet how simple the trying, wandering from earth, the orb of sweet dreams. What is yon face in the moonlight appearing? Have I at last found the maiden that fled? Out on the beam bridge my footsteps are nearing, her whose sweet beckoning hastens my tread. Currents surround me and drowsily swaying. Far on the moon path I seek the sweet face. Eagerly, hasting, half panting, half praying, forward I reach for the vision of grace. Murmuring waters about me are closing. Soft the sweet vision advances to me. Done are my trials. My heart is reposing. Safe with my Unda, the bride of the sea. The Garden by H.P. Lovecraft. There's an ancient, ancient garden that I see sometimes in dreams, where the very Maytime sunlight plays and glows with spectral gleams, where the gaudy tinted blossoms seem to wither into gray, and the crumbling walls and pillars waken thoughts of yesterday. There are vines in nooks and crannies, and there's moss about the pool, and the tangled weedy thicket chokes the arbor dark and cool. In the silent sunken pathways springs herbage sparse and spare, where the musty scent of dead things dulls the fragrance of the air. There is not a living creature in the lonely space Aruna, and the hedge-encompassed quiet never echoes to a sound. As I walk and wait and listen, I will often seek to find when it was I knew that garden in an age long left behind. I will oft conjure a vision of a day that is no more. As I gaze upon the gray, gray scenes I feel I knew before, then a sadness settles over me, and a tremor seems to start, for I know the flows are shriveled hopes. The garden is my heart.